It's that boy. It's that boy. It's that boy. It's that boy. Who that boy? Hello everybody and welcome. I'm your host, Clammy Dude, back at it again. It's your boy, it's your child. I'm your sweet, nubile, innocent newborn. You're holding me in your hands. Isn't this weird? Oh my God. Today we're doing another episode of It Came From Craigslist, where I do the unholy task of scouring the internet's favorite listing service, Craigslist.com, in your local market and find the most oddball, interesting, weird, and otherwise bizarre motorcycle listings to show you, to share with you. Today we're doing lovely San Francisco. Many of my subscribers have mentioned to me that the Bay Area has some of the most whacked out weirdo bikes out there, so that's what we're doing today. Before we jump in though, I wanted to thank today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by War Robots, a free-to-play 6-on-6 tactical mobile game featuring rich 3D graphics and online multiplayer. The guys over at War Robots reached out to me to share their game, and I thought you guys would enjoy it. The gameplay is pretty quick. You can download and start quickly fighting other robots. You have the ability to build out your fleet and customize them as you wish. There's over 100 million players, which is absolutely crazy to think about. There's tons of content, events, maps, weapons, and robots and upgrades, and the developers are constantly working to improve the experience. Personally, my favorite is this Raijin robot because he looks like some kind of space spider. Yammie fans can hit the link in the description below to receive the welcome bonus pack, which includes the boa robot and the unique skin for it. Full set of new weapons, 100 gold and 400,000 silver. The robot's extremely versatile and it's going to fit your combat for any range. So go to spawns.org/YammieNoob or go to the link in the description to get this welcome pack and get started slaying some robots. Maybe you'll see your boy out there on the battlefield. All right, so for our first motorcycle, I really wanted to save this one for a best to last type of thing, but it's just too good to not share for the first one. This is maybe one of the weirdest things I've ever found. So this guy is selling a limited edition Sportster for $7,500. Says, I really hate to have to do this. Up for sale is my beloved chopper, Psycho Chopster. Started life as a limited edition Series 1. Has been my daily rider for several months now. Is ultra reliable. It's not perfect, patina and old school soul with modern day reliability. You will never see another one like it anywhere. I do love whenever the listings tell me that it is the most unique and bespoke motorcycle that has ever existed ever. I want you to just feast your eyes on these photos, right? So this was the first photo that's on there. It's a terrible first photo because it doesn't even look like it's a working bike. The throttle's not even on there. The rear seat's not on there. It looks real bare bones. And then the next photo, it looks done up, but it looks different than in the first photo. It looks like the seats are on there, but it looks like it has a different front tire. And then I love this third photo of this guy on here. I guess this is the owner, but this is him at like a show, and he's just like, yeah, brother, look how much poon I get with this bike, brother. Yeah, brother, I got 4 women on me on this motorcycle, brother. It's just awesome. And they're all in cheetah print too, which is hilarious. And then he has a screenshot of a computer screen. So he took a photo of a computer to show, again, his bike that is not built or set up or anything. And here's another image of a computer because you can tell by the way that the photo is degraded. So this is just the best. He's got a photo of all of his other motorcycles, so you know that he's a cool dude. He's like, hey brother, look at my stable. Look at this big old stable of bikes I got. And then he just has a photo of this guy doing a wheelie, which is amazing. This is in the middle of the listing. It's just, I don't even know if this is his bike or if it's him, but it's just some dude just ripping a wheelie. And then he has this, he has this last picture of a monkey grabbing a woman's tit. And it has like the bookmarks at the top of his web browser. It says, welcome to AOL. I love everything about this. This is, to me, the pinnacle of my It Came From Craigslist career. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. All right, moving along. We got the Yamaha Special for $700. I tell you guys all the time, you can get in for a bike on Craigslist for under $1,000 all day. And this one comes with a free banana seat at the rear end. It says, this bike is currently not running and needs ignition switch. Well, shit. 1980 XS850. Now, if I remember correctly about the XS850, this is a shaft-driven motorcycle. And it's a 3-cylinder. Yeah, it is. Okay. So these bikes are actually really sweet. I am partial to 3-cylinder motorcycles, but these are like a classic, like UJM style 3-cylinder bike. Pretty cool, honestly. But If it's not running, I mean, for 700 bucks, you just pick it up and figure something out with it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Maybe an 8 out of 10 on this one. That seems kind of high. Let's say 5.5 out of 10. It wouldn't be complete, would it? It would not be complete if I didn't include a mobility scooter. I'm starting to think that since this is just a common theme in every Craigslist I find, I think that this is a problem with Craigslist itself, that they don't have a sort of, you know, oddball automotive section, so people have to put scooters in the motorcycle section. I do love this guy though. He didn't put the information in the listing. He screenshotted the information from another listing from his phone and didn't even bother to crop out like the top bar with like the batteries and time information. So that's great. I love that. Clean scooter though, man. Clean scooter. You rip yourself a nice little wheelie with that one. Give that one a 6 out of 10. And he also has an image at the end that shows what I assume is the retail price for this, showing you how good of a deal you're getting. You are getting a steal for this mobility scooter. That's hilarious. Here we go, boys. The classic Ninja 250, 1,000 bucks, Craigslist, all day. I tell you guys, don't go to the dealership. Don't buy yourself a $6,000 beginner bike. Don't do it. 1,000 bucks, boom. This guy says sold as is, owner's manual and service manual included. Would need the following repairs: clean carb, new gas tank, new battery, new spark plugs, lube chain, and change the oil and filter. All right, so you need to do everything on it, but you get to learn. You get to embark on a journey of learning with the Ninja 250R in Excelsior/Outer Mission. This bike has seen better days, man. It's seen better days. But I think if you just want a motorcycle, here you go. 1,000 bucks. It's all you. I mean, an 18-year-old kid could save that up in like 2 months while working some part-time job, maybe even less. So this one I thought was pretty cool. This is a 1974 AMF Harley Enduro 175 SX. This guy says it's a rare find. Not really sure why it's in quotations. Is it a rare find? I always love that. It's a clean looking little bike. 175 is probably not gonna get you going very fast, but I think for a sort of like Grom around the town kind of bike, it's pretty interesting. It says 1974 AMF 175 SX Harley Davidson Enduro. Owned it for 10 years and have never done anything with it. It's just sitting around, you just never did anything with it? What'd you do? Was told it runs but needs a clutch replacement. How have you had it for 10 years but you were told it runs? Shouldn't you know if it runs if you've had it for 10 years? Suspect. I have the pink slip and the plates on it out of Oregon. You trying to race for pinks, bro? Trying to race for some pinks, bro? Trying to race, bro? It's pretty interesting. I give that one a 4 out of 10. Up next, we have a 1979 Kawasaki. That literally is written Kawasaki, not Kawasaki. So that's not on me, that's on him. It's a KZ400. This thing's pretty clean looking. There's only one photo of it though, so I don't know how good of shape it is. This is a very sort of glamour shot type of thing. He says, hi, posting to see how many people would be interested in my beautiful 1979 Kawasaki KZ400. Runs well, needs some TLC here and there, pretty comparable to a CB500 or similar motorcycle. I think this one's pretty cool. 2 grand's a little pricey for 1979, but it is in pretty good shape. 5.5 out of 10. We're just being generous today. We're just gonna be real generous with it. So I thought this one was really interesting. I did a history video on Ducati a while back, and I don't remember this bike being in it, so I actually don't know what motorcycle this is, but apparently it's a 2007 Ducati 800 Super Sport. I don't remember ever seeing this bike in my research, but I mean, that is what it says on the side of it, so I have to assume it's the real thing. It says this bike has 8K on it, salvage title, new tires, Termignoni exhaust, loose and runs great. For more information, please call that number. No text, please. So that's pretty cool. It's in decent shape. It definitely looks like an old Ducati, though. It has not aged well, in my opinion. That's not a very good looking bike. I do wonder how it runs, though. Yeah, I don't know. This one strikes me as interesting. I think if you're trying, this is probably one of the cheapest ways to get in on a Ducati that you can, and then you'd have bragging rights about having a Ducati, right? I know some people are interested in that. They're like, hey, I own a Ducati. So if that's you, man, this is you right here. 2450 gets it done. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10 though. That's an ugly bike. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. That is a hideous motorcycle. So this one I thought was real interesting. This is an RC51. It's a 2001. It's a converted track bike. So it used to be a track bike and now it's a street bike that he did some work on. I'm not sure if I love it or if I hate it. It's got some really interesting fender work done to it. Sort of like it kind of makes me feel kind of Tron, gives me a Tron vibe, kind of a retro future bike kind of thing. It's pretty cool though. This guy says 2001 RC51 was previously a track bike. I've since thrown some lights on it. Tail lights, rear brake lights, headlight works can be registered for street use again. Last registered in 2015, so there will be back fees. It's a 1000cc V-twin. RC51's a sweet bike. I really like those actually. Gets you a nice little list of things that are on it. That's pretty cool. This guy's rocking the single-sized garage just like I am. God bless you, bro. You know my pain. It is a cool looking bike, I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people would see that and be like, I don't even know what that is, you know? So if you're looking for something that has a if you're looking for something that has a little bit of a glam factor, I think this is you. Let's chalk that one up as a 6 out of 10. Now this one I really liked. I've never seen or heard of this bike, but it looks really cool. And I also really love how this guy, he took his motorcycle to an actual like place for glamour shots. So this is a 1989 Honda Transalp 600, wants $26.50 for it. But the photos are, it looks like he took this little bike out to like a studio to get some professional headshots done. This bike, it's about to update its LinkedIn profile. It's about to redo its resume. It's getting back out in the workforce, you know, it's been many years and it needed to look good. It needed to look good before it head back out in the real world. This guy says, 1989 Honda Transalp, well cared for, attended to. This is a special bike. I've had a few of these over the years and this is by far the strongest. There are no engine mods, only jetting. It rides beautifully, an incredible unique city bike and great for fire roads and touring. I think this is really neat. If it's a 600 kind of dual sports setup, old school, I'm digging it, dude. It's got a really cool color scheme too with the red, gray, and the yellow. It's got an Olin shock in the rear, which is kind of crazy. Wow, that's actually really nice. Look at these glamour shots. Man, this is a handsome bike. Actually, this thing is really sweet. That's really neat. I really like it. Yeah, and it definitely doesn't look like a 1989, other than the bushings and the front forks. Not the bushings, rather the little sleeves on the front forks, the little rubberized things. Yeah, it's in great shape. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Look at that. Generosity. Moving on. Ooh, baby. This is something I would be interested in, actually. If this is in DFW, I might snag this. We got a 2007 R1 track bike for $3,900. So one of my favorite things about Craigslist is that you have the ability to really pretty easily find like a track bike that someone is just looking to dump for relatively cheap that already has a bunch of modifications on it ready to go for the track. I've always told people if you're trying to get a track bike, don't buy like a newer bike and then transform it into a track bike. Just take someone else's track bike that they've already spent a bunch of money on buying like actual track parts and then just use that. Because it's gonna be a little beat up, right? It's a track bike, it's seen a hard life. But, you know, with a little bit of TLC, anything will run. So this guy says, I am selling my this is a long description, we're not gonna read all this. I'm selling my 2007 R1, converted to a track bike. Has a lot of aftermarket parts. Got the K-Tech suspension in the front. It's got the K-Tech front fork control valves. Adjustable rear set, which is really nice. Galfer rotors, I'm assuming that's brake rotors, is pretty cool. Radiator cover, GB covers, love those. Frame sliders, clip-ons, it's pretty cool. And he tells you what he just did in the last maintenance, so that's really nice. Yeah, it's in pretty good shape for a track bike. Probably been down a few times, so that's okay. Yeah, I would say if you're looking, and these R1s, they're not the cross-plane, right, from the like 07, that's before they went cross-plane, so they don't have that tremendous sound that the old Yamaha 4-cylinder cross-plane has, but, you know, still gonna run strong, still gonna be a great bike. I think if you're looking for a track bike, Craigslist is a great option. And he's got a handsome glamour shot right here of him at the track. He's a good-looking boy right there. Nearly knee down. You'll get there someday. I'm just kidding. Up next, we have a 2016 Vespa Sprint, wants $4,500 for this scooter. Jesus Christ. Scooter's in great condition, no issues, low mileage, ideal vehicle for short routes and small parking spaces. Yeah, but $4,500. That is a lot of cheddar for a scooter. I'm not vibing with it, dude. I'm really not vibing with it. Nah. I don't know what these go for new, but $4,500 is absolutely crazy for this. Hard pass. 0 out of 10. Screw you. Get lost. And it wouldn't be complete. It wouldn't be complete without some absolutely crazy chopper. So this is a show quality custom chopper with killer mics, paint job, and airbags. This dude wants $9,800 for this atrocity against God. I don't want to say that because I know some people really love this kind of stuff, but man, this is not my bag of tea. Good God. Approximately 500 miles on build. The bike has a 1200cc Evo motor, has plenty of power, can be serviced by any Harley dealership. All wires are run through the frame. This bike also has airbags. You can lower it, have a hardtail, and engage for a smoother ride. Oh, he's got a different price in the listing. It says $9,900 OBO. That's interesting. Yeah, you know what? Like, it's clean, right? It's in good shape. It looks like a well-done build, but Jesus Christ, this thing is not my style at all. It's got this crazy long rake. Like, what in the hell? And that looks like a Viper tire at the rear. It looks like a 315 at the rear. That's crazy. Good Lord. Yeah, I would pass on that one. That's a crazy build. That is a crazy build. So this one I thought was pretty cool. It looks like a custom cafe build, BMW K1100 RS. Wants $6,500 for it. That's a lot of money, but this thing is really neat. I believe these are the Boxer 4s. So BMW has quite a few motorcycles that have a Boxer 4 configuration, which is really interesting. I believe this is one of them. Yes, it is. And yeah, so this looks like a totally custom cafe. Really cool looking bike, I will say. Looks like a lot of fun to ride. Definitely gonna turn some heads when you do it. Yeah, but I think 6,500 is a bit much. Really cool looking bike. I love the center stand on him. Give this one a 7 out of 10. So this is one of my favorites. A while back I did the Daytona history video and I actually came across, I didn't know they made this, but now I do. So before Triumph went to the 3-cylinder Daytona 675 in like the late 2000s, I believe 2006 was the first generation of that one, they had a 4-cylinder version of the Daytona called the Daytona 650. And it had this goofy little happy face on it. It looks like a little Pokemon. People say that this bike is actually pretty fun to ride. It's got a little bit more of a bump in torque than the 600s at the time, but it just really couldn't compete. Back then in the early 2000s, like the R6, the ZX6, and the CBR 600 were all like fighting at the bit for each other for sort of 600 dominance. You have to remember too, at that time 600s were like a manufacturer's bread and butter. It just really is not that way anymore, like at all. So there's not as much development into them. But the 650 is a cool little bike. This dude wants $6,500 for it, which is nuts. Would never pay that much. It's got carbon fiber Dimag rims. That's pretty neat. 2 new Pirelli Corsas, 2 Brothers exhaust, blah, blah, blah. It's in really good shape. I think that, you know, if you, oh, I love that. Look at that. I never noticed that. Maybe that is from the new Daytona. So the newer Daytona 675s and the 675Rs, they have a little, like rear foot plate that looks exactly like the foot plate on this one. I had no idea they've been doing it the same way. That's so cool. Yeah, this bike has some really nice upgrades on it, I'm not gonna lie. But, $6,500, it's a lot of money. Love these little Daytonas though, love them. And then wrapping this up, we have another yellow Daytona. So this is actually the 1999 Daytona 955i. So this was before Triumph went back into the middleweight category. They were trying to compete with like leader bikes of the time. This is a 955cc triple, and I have heard nothing but good things about this bike. The 955i is apparently just so nice to ride. I've always wanted to ride one just because it has sort of like a classic Triumph triple charm to me. I bet it's super fun and refined. This guy wants $4,000 for it, which I think is a perfectly fair deal, but then again, I'm very biased towards these bikes. How cool is that? It's in great shape too, it looks like it. Hey, he's got a little happy face Daytona in the background too. Maybe it's the same guy. It looks like the same bike. That is awesome. Honestly, in an ideal world, I would love to have just like a fleet of all the old Daytonas and Triumph bikes. That'd be so fun. I'd love to have like a Daytona 650, the 955, the previous generation 675 in the R configuration. I love the way that one looks, the undertail exhaust, and then obviously a newer Daytona, but you know, I cannot be trusted with those. Triumph, talk to me. We can work out a deal. Great looking bike. All right, boyos, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks so much for tuning in and checking out this video. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button for me, leave a comment letting me know how much you hate me or love me. I'd prefer that too. And I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.